Okay. Now, if you feel around the head of the ulna, you're going to find a place where that kind of enlarged thing turns back into shaft of bone. And this point, small intestine 6, is right there between muscle and bone, tight to the bone, right where the head of the bone swells out. And I'm needling very close to the bone and very close to a tendon. I don't want to needle the tendon. I want to get between the tendon and the bone. This point's got a little zing to it. I like this point a lot. Chi-cleft points get used a lot for painful conditions, and the TCM people have, in this country anyway, have the wrong impression that it's only for acute pain. You know, that the person injured themselves yesterday and they're in pain from the injury, and you needle the Chi-cleft point. Well, no, it's also very good for chronic pain. And there's lots of literature to back that up, classical literature and modern literature. It's just a misunderstanding that some TCM people have. But more than that, as I explained last time, the Chi-cleft points are a place where the classics say that chi and blood plunge deeply and gather. That's the wording of the classic. Chi and blood plunge deeply and gather. So then it becomes the image of a sort of reservoir or hidden underground reservoir of chi and blood. And then when you needle this point in an appropriate situation, you're filling up the channel with chi and blood. Dr. Marshall called it like the rotor-rooter of the channel. But there's another purpose for this particular Chi-cleft point. It has very little to do with pain or any of that, but it does have to do with somewhat with chi and blood in an abstract way. The name of this point is nourish the old or nourish the aged. And in elderly patients who have poor absorption of nutrients, what's the first thing you want them to do?
Absorb nutrients.
Be digesting.
I said absorb nutrients.
Yeah, so what's the first thing you want them, what's the first step you want them to take if they have malabsorption of nutrients? You want them to get a B12 shot. You want them to go get a vitamin B12 shot, and you want them to start taking sublingual vitamin B12. You get more out of it if you dissolve it under your tongue than you do if you swallow it. Because without vitamin B12, you can't absorb anything else that you need.